So let me ask you a question. Do you know how to read the Bible?
I mean,
that's the question you need to ask.
I mean, I'm not reading.
No. Anybody can read. The question was asked, do you know how to read the Bible?
Yeah, I have white clouders, elders,
you ever heard of Black Wall Street and all that? You ever heard of this? That's what I'm saying. You don't. They're not teaching history in school. Why is that? Hell, they're not even teaching slavery in school no more. What God just said right there? Read it again. Never trust thine enemy. Even after all what you just said, God say never trust thy enemy. Guess what? Our forefathers had to understand it. Now you straight. What's up?
I see this. I guess. Like I told him, I just need to read this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ask a question. You go to the middle of the Bible and ask.
I'm going in the Old Testament. I'm going to go to the Old Testament right now.
I understand it, but I wouldn't really understand because I don't know. I haven't read that much. So I want you can tell me something. Like I told him, I grew up in the church with they something which I do right.
Yeah.
They make their own meaning.
So let me ask you a question. Do you know how to read the Bible?
I mean,
that's the question you need to ask.
I mean, I'm not reading.
Do you know how to read the Bible is what I'm asking. Give me that Isaiah 28.
What do you mean by that?
That's my question. That's the certain way you got
how to read.
No. Anybody can read. The question was asked, do you know how to read the Bible?
Let me show you this. I know how to read by this. Yesterday, I got a question.
Yeah.
So yesterday I read the first book.
I understand.
It didn't talk in as if it was not. It talked as if it was in third person. So he was able to start the book.
Holy man. The first 5 books was written by Moses, our forefather. He went up in the mountains, and the Lord gave him everything.
As far as I will find that out.
But yeah, but guess what? I'm going to show you how you read the Bible first. Read this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept. See that? Precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. See that? Here a little and there a little. But guess what? The Lord is not going to give you that understanding unless you're keeping the commandments. Give me that in Psalms 111:10. That's true. Give me Psalms 111:10 because guess what? The reason why you don't understand the Bible right now is because you're missing the main formula. And this is why we out here talking to our people right now because the church lied to us. Our mamas and daddies lied to us, bro. This is why the Lord brought the true prophets back to teach. Because God not going to come down himself. He's going to use his creation that he created to teach his word. Now, the Bible says you got to go precept on precept, here a little and there a little. So guess what? You got to go to the old, you got to go to the new. But guess what? You're missing another formula. I'm going to show you why you don't understand the Bible. Read that. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? So the Lord already telling you, in order to get the wisdom of this Bible, you got to fear him.
That's right.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. He said a good understanding is all they that do his commandments.
Bring it out.
Meaning, guess what? So now the Lord said you got to go precept on precept, here a little, there a little. Then he also said the fear of him is the beginning of wisdom. And he also said a good understanding is all them that do his commandments. But wait, there's more. Give me 2 Timothy 2:15. See, once you understand who you are and you start keeping God's commandments, he'll start to reveal everything to you.
That's right.
And then you'll start to get the understanding. But as long as you're in the midst of sin, you ain't going to understand nothing.
That's
so
right.
Now, we're giving you the formula now to try to understand this Bible. But there's more that you got to do. Once you come into the knowledge of who you are and you start keeping the commandments, there's 4. Read that. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God. Now he's saying, after all that, he says, study to show thyself approved unto God. What does it mean to study? You gotta be in the Bible. You gotta be reading. It's almost like you're studying for an exam on a test. If you take a test at school like a math test, some geometry, I don't know, and you never studied, it's a good chance you're going to fail, right? Right, so the Lord is telling you, you got to keep his commandments. Then he also saying you got to study to show yourself unto God, but there's more.
And workmen that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
He said, rightly dividing the word of truth. You understand? So, this is why everybody got the Bible. Everybody ain't got the understanding.
That's right.
Because the Lord gave his understanding unto the prophets, those that's going to repent. Now, give me out who the prophets is in Amos. Because everybody got the Bible, right? You got 100 churches on the block, right? How come the crime in the neighborhood is sky high? You got a pastor on every damn corner. Why is it that we still killing each other? Because the pastor ain't opening up the Bible and studying and reading. What's that? Great.
That's what I was.
You're good. You're good.
That's why I was telling them. Like, do y'all realize like a dad makes the child? Right? So like, you realize if I was to have sex with a white woman,
Yeah.
that child would not be white.
I know the Bible say that.
Okay.
You are what your father is.
Okay, so how do we know now, since all this stuff's going on good? Like,
Give me that. Give me that Romans. Hey, I'm gonna show you. Guess what? Guess what? We know that. That's why. Guess what? When you study, when you keep the laws of God, he got the answer right there in the book. And guess what? It's our job to reveal it to you. That's a good question right there. Well, how do we know? Guess what? The Lord gonna show you right here.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, and verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit.
You see that? The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit. Give me that slave song real quick. Hold that up. Keep reading.
Is that it?
No, sir. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
You see that? The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. So guess what? If your ancestors went through this affliction right here, 9 times out of 10, you're the child of God. Because we the sand of the sea, we can't be nothing. You understand? So therefore the Lord say teach. If your spirit recognize, if your spirit can bear witness with the atrocities that's happening to our people even today, 9 times out of 10, you're the children of Israel. You understand it? Because who is the most oppressed people on the planet today? No. Us, right? Who is the most hated on the planet today? Us, right? So the Lord is leaving you clues. That's why the Lord say go out and teach. Go out and teach his people. Because he say your spirit gonna bear witness with our spirit, right? And we know some of our people have interracial marriages. That's why, hey, we teach. Hey, if your father is of the nation of Israel, you're an Israelite. That's right. Some people might not know who their father is. Give me that with the sand of the sea. I'm gonna show you something. That's why we come out here and teach, bro. If your spirit bear witness with it, you're a child of God. You understand? And you can't worry about everybody else. You gotta worry about your salvation. Because the Lord talking to you right now. The Lord dealing with you right now at this moment. Come here.
Do you agree that God told them to do what they did to us?
Yeah. I'm gonna answer your question. Read that.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Can you count the sand of the sea? You can't. So the Lord say the children of Israel is as the sand of the sea. Now, is that on that?
Which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Which cannot be measured or numbered. So guess what? Believe it or not, it's more of us on the planet than any other race of people.
That's right.
And guess what? We scatter in all nations. Every captivity, every nation up on the earth, the children of Israel is there. That's why you gotta look up the slave trade. That's why you gotta know history. You gotta study. Now, to answer your question, you said, don't you believe the white people follow God's orders, right? Yes, they did. I'm gonna show you that. Give me that Deuteronomy 28. It's in verse 48, right? I'm gonna show you what they did. I'm gonna show you that they follow God's orders. You wanna know what the problem is? We don't follow God's orders.
Right.
We don't do it as a people. And guess what? We God's chosen people.
Right.
So guess what he did? He used your enemy, our enemies, to take out on this order. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore, shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Now, this is Moses talking to us. He said, because you don't want to keep God's laws, he said, therefore, you're going to serve your enemies,
which the Lord shall send against thee.
You see that? Which the Lord shall send against thee. What does that mean? the Lord sent the white man against us. He said, you're going to serve your enemies, not just the white man, the Arab, the Chinaman, everybody that had their hands on us in slavery. He said, we're going to serve your enemies with an S, which the Lord has sent thee. Go ahead.
And hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Did not the white man put yokes of irons on our necks? Then when he took the chains out, aren't we destroyed? That's why we don't know who we are. That's why we hate each other.
Right.
That's why we're killing each other. The white man did exactly what God told him to do.
Right.
You want to know what the problem is? We're not doing what God said.
That's right.
God told us to keep the commandments. You want to know what we said? The hell with you, God.
Right.
I want to go eat some chicken on the Sabbath. I want to wear whatever I want to wear, like the sister just said. My mama told her to put a dress on. She said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to wear pants. We're the most rebellious people on the planet. Did you not know that? This is how we know we're the people of God. All you got to do is look around. Look around. Who the most rebellious people on the planet is us. And I'm going to show you that. Give me that, Isaiah. I still don't know, but jump down to verse 5. A sinful nation. Because that's the problem with our people, bro. We don't know who we are, and we still rebel against God. For some reason, our people hate God. You're not going to say it, but your actions going to show it. Is that what I want?
Yes, sir. Sorry, verse 3.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
You see that? God saying we a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. We are sitting at an all-time high right now. How do we know that? Just look in the community, bro. Look around. We getting high, we getting drunk. We whoring out our women. We murdering each other. Hell, we robbing each other. We doing all manner of sorts of evil. And this is why the Lord told Moses, guess what? Y'all gonna serve the enemies, which he sent against us. You know what I'm saying? Because of our disobedience. Read that.
A seed of evildoers.
You see that? We're a seed of evildoers. You got these Negroes, the YNs today. These young Negroes. They're a seed of evildoers. All they want to do is murder and rob. They don't want to get no job. They don't want to do nothing. God say a seed of evildoers, right?
Children that are corrupters.
This ain't children that are corrupted. Are not the young kids corrupt today? They are, right? How old are you? You're 25, so...
But they been through.
Right, but each generation get worse and worse.
Right.
I'm 34. When I was a little kid, guess what? Believe it or not, I was still watching wrestling. I was playing with damn Pokemon cards and stuff. These little Negroes today, they picking up guns at 10 years old. They going to rob and kill people at 12. They doing a life sentence at 15 years old.
Right. Yeah, you ain't did that shit? You ain't playing games. Hold on.
Look at this guy. What you doing, man? You subscribed yet? Subscribe right now. Do.
Go ahead.
That's where, like, I get kind of, I want to say, and get like, but me personally, I understand what we're talking about us, you know what I mean? Me personally, I don't know, like I said, I couple now, people, I had black partners, I had white partners that was just saying evil. And you would probably see him be like, you know, why would you say that word? But me, he grew up around niggas.
But you know he's still an enemy, right?
Okay, but how do I got some partners where I didn't thought, now that I talk to y'all, I thought was that really they black.
Oh, but then if he black, he black.
It was like he looked white, but
yeah.
go out in public, you know what I'm saying? And he talking about what's up, nigga? And then random black man saying this. And what you just say? The whole time they not, no.
You wanna know why? It's because we lost our identity, bro. We lost the knowledge of God. If you got the knowledge of God, you would know that. You would know that you are whatever your father is. So if your father is an Israelite, you're an Israelite. Because right now, you can go to India right now. Some of our people look like the Indian people. That's right. But guess what? They black. They Israelites.
Right.
You can go to China right now. Now, hold that. Give me that a man that traveled through many things. You want to know the problem with our people? We don't leave the hood. We don't leave North St. Louis. Hey, we don't leave America. You want to know the thoughts of our people? The thoughts of our people is television.
Sirach 34:9.
Sirach 34:9. I'm going to show you what the guy said. Remember what God said. Study to show thyself approved. Once you come into the knowledge of God, God has all the answers. He has all the answers that you need.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 34 and verse 9. A man that hath traveled knoweth many things.
So what? See that? A man that have traveled know many things. Go ahead.
And he that hath much experience will declare wisdom.
You see that? He that got much experience will declare wisdom. That's why you got to travel, bro. Once you come into the knowledge of God, he said we scatter into all nations. Guess what? Our people over there in Germany, France, Australia, China, Japan, South America, Africa. You know the earth is very big. You know that, right? I know the white man told us, all you know is this right here. Hell, some of us ain't even been out to Lake St. Louis yet. You ain't even been all throughout Missouri. They keep us entrapped in the ghetto. Yeah, this is why we have this low thinking mentality.
Yeah, but then I also like it too. Like I always bring it back to like my real life. You know, I don't know why, but that's just how I try to make it. But it's just like for me, like I didn't have to be here. I ain't it wasn't because of my own time. You know what I'm saying? It was because people like child white people that actually, yep. It wasn't like, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna bring you here because you black and we gon' no. Like these people got me being among them. You know? So it's like
If you Sirach 12 and 10, I listen. Don't mistake. I'm gonna tell you something about white folks, right? Anything they do for black people is for your bad. It's not for you. It's for them. It might seem like it's for you. Anything they do to help us is really not helping us.
Right.
It's destroying us. Think about it. Anytime a white man come join a black business, what happened to it? They take over. You ever heard of Black Wall Street and all this? You ever heard of this? That's what I'm saying. You know, they're not teaching history in school. Why is that? Hell, they're not even teaching slavery in school no more. Why is that? Because they don't want you to know that they're the enemy. But guess what? God don't tell you that they're the enemy. Read that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Remember in Deuteronomy. Remember what the God said. Therefore, you're going to serve thy enemies. You're going to put a yoke iron on thy neck, right? He used the word enemies. Pay attention. Pay attention real quick.
Never trust thine enemy.
What God just said right there? Read again.
Never trust thine enemy.
Even after all what you just said, God say never trust thy enemies. Guess what? Our forefathers had to understand it. Because guess what? They tried the same flattering things they do today during the Maccabees time. That's why you got to read your records. You got to read what happened back then. During the Roman Empire, during the Greek Empire. These are the same white folks. Guess what? That's why the Lord left the records here. But if you're not studying, you're not keeping God's commandments, you're not going to know who the enemy is. God say never trust my enemy. Hold on.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
He say just like iron rust, so is his wickedness. Because they might be nice to you one day. Hey, what are you doing? They might give you a job, give you a car. Make the white folk mad. Watch how quickly you become a nigga. Matter of fact, make some white folks lose some money. See what'll happen to you. Go ahead.
I get it. It's hard to be, but I got kids. Like they like, but they're not cousins technically.
But they ain't your cousin then.
But her child is my kid. So
It's a child black? The father black?
Yeah, but
So
when we come and
Yeah.
family together, they are with us. It's not like, oh, they white. No. And these people they got real love. Like it ain't like, oh, I'm mad at him today. We ain't fucking at me a nigga. No,
Hold up.
like it.
I'm gonna show you what God say it is like that. Read again.
Never trust thine enemy.
God say never trust thy enemies. You wanna know? Keep reading.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Keep reading.
Though he humbleth himself.
No, he humbling himself. White folks love to humble themselves. Hey, that's how wrong. You just a good. Hold on, let God speak first. He said, though he humble himself, go ahead,
and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
You see that God say, though he humble himself and he go crouching, he said, yet take heed and beware of him. This is the understanding that you're missing. Because guess what? It wasn't just too long ago that they just what? They had Jim Crow. It wasn't just too long ago. We just got out of slavery with not like over 100 years ago. We just got civil rights in the 60s. Hell, your grandma or your mama might still be living during that time. So what are you talking about? Because 60 years ago, they weren't your friend. They were still hanging us by the rope. That's why God say, beware of him. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
Right. As you wipe the looking glass, why? Because what happens when the glass is dirty? You can't see, right? What happens when you wipe that glass? Think about when you're trying to see inside of a store, right? You're trying to see some good things, but it's dirty. You can't see, right? But when you wipe it off, you can see everything in there. You're like, I don't want to go up in there. Right? He said it's just like that. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
God said his rust ain't been wiped away altogether. He's still that same wicked man. So no matter how you try to put it, God said he's still the enemy.
Sons of God! We're gonna take this city. We're gonna take the kingdom. We're gonna rule them hard. This is war! This is war! This is war! I'm here for the win, well, to get it again. The Lord call it taking the kingdom. Want what's mine? Taking my time, turning and taking your freedom. Risen from the ashes, after the lashes. Call it a beautiful tragedy. We've been on the brink of insanity. It's the end of your days, our calamity. Adding in, grab a friend for the finale. Curtain call on a heathen. We want forever and a day. Why would the pastor lie and say it's your season? Drop a bomb on them, Hiroshima. Drop a bomb on them cause they need it. Scrub it down, planet need a cleaning. Vagabond gone like I'm dreaming.